Tonight, a 1981 homicide investigation goes under the microscope as part of Unsolved in PA. CBS 21's Ryan Eldredge speaking with investigators and family members to learn more about the murder of Allen Cameron Funt.
He was Pap Funt. He was Pap Funt to everybody, but he was my Pap Funt.
Headline after headline, memory upon memory.
This is a letter I wrote to Unsolved Mysteries in 1990.
For Clyde Funt and his family, the trip to the past is paved with pain.
Oh, I met everything. He's my father.
On the cold morning of January 17th, 1981, Clyde was the one who made the horrifying discovery.
When I found him laying in the bedroom dead, that was obviously a huge shock.
His father, Allen Cameron Funt, was dead upstairs in his Biglerville home, the victim of what state police believe to be a robbery gone wrong.
I think it was a pre-planned robbery, maybe a robbery that went wrong. Maybe the intention wasn't to kill him, and Mr. Funt might have resisted. And right up the road here was where the vehicle was parked.
Investigators like Trooper Richard KLINE have spent years on the case and hours picking through what evidence is left and what details remain relevant more than 4 decades later.
You know, 40 years later, you'd love to go back and say, hey, I wish, this was done or this was collected.
KLINE and many officers before him say that Cameron Funt, who was 85 at the time, was trying to help a man, maybe two, who had claimed to have car trouble.
I couldn't say that he necessarily knew him. It was just too hard to say at this point.
It was a good deed that happened here at this peaceful home along Brysonia Road, an area we visited over the summer with Clyde that likely cost Cameron Funt his life.
He'd do anything for anybody if anybody asked. He'd do favors or whatever.
Investigators say what happened after Funt let someone in to call a mechanic is purely speculation.
The one set of prints came up through here and it went, we think, up to the car.
But Clyde, now close to his father's age when he passed, has some theories.
I think he went up to his bedroom and he kept his firearm in the dresser drawer. And I think he went up to get it, hoping he would do something to stop it. But apparently they took the weapon from him, and then I think they used that to beat him to death.
Theories aside, Clyde and even his son Brad, who will carry this fight into the future, just want answers.
What's the purpose of this? Pretty much a cowardly thing to do.
Investigators believe a missing gun and wallet could be keys to cracking the case, along with DNA and the next generation of crime-solving tools.
If you could go back in time, if you could be one of the responding detectives or officers back in 1981, what would you have done differently knowing what you know today?
Well, I think the biggest thing would go back to the evidence. We'd have collected a lot more items.
Do you think the case will be solved?
I think it will.
And Trooper KLINE tells me that he will be sending DNA and fingerprint evidence to an advanced lab in Cumberland County that is better equipped to examine those items. It is his hope, along with the hope of the family, that they'll be able to crack this case. In the meantime, if you have any information, you are urged to contact the Pennsylvania State Police. For Unsolved in PA, I'm Ryan Eldredge.